Everyone is talking about Elon Musk's political views. Obviously, it's a distraction from what everyone should be talking about, my political views. But really, who doesn't want to know the policies of the future king of Mars? The right sees him as a friend, the left sees him as an enemy, and all of them see him as right-wing. But that's not how Elon sees himself. So what does he believe? Of course, aside from enacting the Doge standard. Yesterday, he tweeted, "This is a battle to the death with the anti-civilizational woke mind virus. My positions are centrist. Secure borders, safe and clean cities, don't bankrupt America with spending, racism against any race is wrong, and no sterilization below the age of consent. Is this right-wing?" He meant it rhetorically, but it is a good question, so let's try to answer it. First, we'll look at Curtis Yarvin's definition of right-wing, then we'll take Elon's points one by one. In Chapter 11 of Yarvin's An Open Letter to Open-Minded Progressives, he gives his definitions of right and left. According to Yarvin, society is built on promises, what we might call covenants, and the right and left can be defined by how they act towards those promises. Stay with me here. First, the right. For Yarvin, being right-wing means being pro-order, pro-law, what he calls pronomian. If society is built on promises, then society works best when those promises are kept. And to make sure they're kept, you're going to need hierarchy. To quote him, "A protector is an enforcer of promises," which also happens to be the name of his new show on CBS. It sounds abstract, but think about it. Property, business agreements, marriage, parental authority, all of these are built on promises, and someone has to be in charge of enforcing them. A man and a woman make a marriage vow, a man buys a house and signs a deed. If those aren't enforceable, they're not real. Without enforcement, a deed is like an expensive fortune cookie. Historically, different promises are handled by different governments, family, state, and church. The right wants to preserve those promises and the hierarchy that protects them. The right values order, natural bonds, and covenant bonds. With that stuff, you have what might be called a society. Then there's the left. For Yarvin, to be left-wing is to be antinomian, anti-order. They reject natural bonds like parental authority, and they reject covenant bonds like marriage and property. It's all too hierarchical. We can't have people getting married, going to church, having kids, owning things. That would be racist or something. If it feels like the left is just against being normal, that's because they are. They want to get rid of nature, covenant, and authority and flatten everything. Of course, this isn't how they'll say it. They'll call it social justice, diversity, and environmentalism. That's why it's a waste of time to call them inconsistent. I don't think burning down that AutoZone was very good for the environment. They don't care. It's all in service of unraveling social fabric, rebelling against nature and covenants. In a word, chaos. Yarvin thinks antinomianism is attractive to young elites because it allows them to dream big about changing the world. And yes, technically this is change. So right-wing is pro-order, left-wing is anti-order. By this definition, is Elon right-wing? Let's look at the tweet again. Secure borders, pro-order, right-wing. Safe and clean cities, pro-order, right-wing. Don't bankrupt America with spending, pro-order, right-wing. Starting to sense a pattern here. Racism against any race is wrong. Now, this one's tough to categorize in a day when exercise is racist, marriage is racist, and pain is racist. But if he means that a person shouldn't be treated poorly just because of their ethnicity, then yes, pro-order, right-wing. And finally, no sterilization below age of consent. That one's easy. It's true that these issues weren't always so controversial, but now that they are, what's the pro-order way of seeing them? There are other definitions of right-wing. The Distributist did a great video with a much fuller definition, but this one is pretty handy. Of course, it's possible to be more right-wing than Elon. For example, I am. But based on this definition and based on his tweet, yes, he's right-wing. So, Elon, if you're watching, I hope this helps. Oh wait, he just tweeted me. Let's put it up.